Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jenks. We got a little top 10 tips for you today for Dark and Darker. Lots of new players here. We love that. I'm so happy. I love this game. I love seeing more people playing it. I know when I started, I wish I knew these things. So without wasting a lot of time, let's just do some tips. Aim for the head in PvP fights and PvE too. The head does a lot more damage. This one's kind of a no-brainer. I think what a lot of people don't know is that the limbs and the chest each have their own range of damage. So like headshots are gonna do the most. Chest is like the second most, and then any limb shot, like your arms or your legs, are gonna do less damage than that. This might be wrong. I think even your little fingies and your toes do even less damage than the limbs. I could be wrong on that. Someone check Ryan 6 days a week, see if he knows. This works on spells too. If you got a Bolt of Darkness as a warlock and you hit someone in the head with that thing, it's doing a good amount of damage. That's not all spells. Some are just like a flat damage, like Curse of Pain. But yeah, learn all the enemy mobs. I would recommend as a new player going to the normals mode before you can access High Roller, and just get used to how all the enemies work. High Roller is just going to be all the enemies, but a little more like tweaked out, like they're just insane, they're really fast. So it's best to get the knowledge of how they work in the normals map. This may seem obvious, but some people don't want to practice, they just want to throw themselves in the fire, which I respect. I'm a lot like that. A big part of this game is just clearing rooms as fast as you can and looting. If you're like mid-fight with PvE and someone comes in to third party you while you're fighting PvE, it's really hard, and they definitely have an advantage. So just clearing them as fast as you can is going to give you a big advantage in any of the modules. And honestly, they're so easy to dodge. They have like 2 or 3 attacks. You literally just, I would say like 90% of the enemy mobs, you can literally just rotate to the right, wait for them to swing, and then hit. If you've ever played Dark Souls, this will come very fast to you. Use doors to your advantage while you are in a PvP fight. Some classes like Wizard have a fireball and they just love that at the door and door go bye-bye. But more often than not, you'll be able to use the door to your advantage if someone's chasing you down and maybe you got to reset a fight. Use the door. Hide behind that puppy. If you can get a heal off or two and sort of play with the door while they're working around that, you might even be able to get off like a barred streak of weakness. You just use the doors to your advantage. They're very helpful, and it might just save you in a PvP fight. It saved me numerous times. Learn what gear is best for your class. This one's important. You want to complement however your character scales. So for example, if you're a fighter, you probably want a lot of strength. If you're a wizard, knowledge is really good. I know will increases magic power, but as a wizard, I think it's way more important to have cast speed, which if you increase your knowledge, you'll have increased cast speed. Will is good on a class like cleric or warlock. Just figure out what attributes works best for your class and then just pump that skill up, baby. On top of that, little side tip, movement speed and health are obviously very important in this game. So if you can manage to get those 2 attributes up as well while you're working on the main attribute, that's only gonna help you. I would say your main attribute and then health and then movement speed. Do not walk backwards, ever. Do not press the S key in this game. Just don't do it. It cuts your movement speed so much. It's not worth it. It's best to literally just strafe left to right and then move your mouse to move your camera. Just don't walk backwards. It's a death sentence. Unless you're good and you're fighting PvE and you can get away with that, sure, but I just get in the habit of not even using that key. If you're in a PvP fight and you're walking away from someone super slow while a cracked out rogue is chasing you with a knife in his hand, like, turn and run, man. And if you want to run even faster, press the X key, you put your weapon away. Movement speed's big in this game, so it's important to learn everything that affects it, and that's one of them. Just remove the key from your keyboard. Campfires are very useful. Not only do they restore your health very fast, faster than any other healing in the game, minus maybe a surgical kit, it also restores spells. So if you're a wizard, cleric, druid now, it goes up super fast. Normally, if you just sit, which is the G key, if you don't know, you do still restore your spells, but it's really slow. When I play wizard, I'll bring 1 or 2 campfires with me if I'm running 10 spell wizard, just to like, maybe after a fight or if I'm doing a lot of PvE fighting, I'll just put one of those bad boys down and then boom, all the spells come back super quick. Very useful. Never hurts to carry one of those around with you. This even works for the fighter's second wind ability. If you're a fighter and you're rocking sprint and second wind, the classic, the bread and butter of that class, some might say, and you accidentally pop your second wind in the pre-lobby like a silly little goose, then just put a campfire down. It restores the second wind, which is pretty cool. Blocking with the shield in this game is a little tricky, so I would recommend practicing on some PvE. You have to literally, like, you gotta aim your shield directionally. If you've ever played games like Mordhau or anything like that, the shield placement is pretty important. If a guy's swinging at you with a rapier or a falchion or whatever, just right on top of your head like that, you gotta aim the shield up. You gotta like learn all these weapons so you can adjust where your shield's gonna be. Shields also block spells. If you can learn how to use a shield effectively, you're gonna win a lot of your PvP fights. Most people don't use shields in this game. Learn your class matchups. Let's say I'm a bard, right? Bards have low magic resistance, so naturally I'm gonna have a harder time fighting classes like the wizard or the warlock. So in order to counter that, you can do a few things. You can build magic resistance, or maybe you can just pull out a survival bow and just not miss. I'm not very good at hitting every single shot with a survival bow. In fact, I'm quite stinky. Every class has like their weakness, right? Every class has their counter. So just get familiar with what classes are gonna give you more trouble and then try and build your class to compensate for that. Clerics are slow, so classes that are very good at kiting, which most class, like that's one of the metas right now I would say, is if you kite, you're probably just gonna win the fight. Clerics have a very low movement speed. A good way to counter that is to maybe lure them in towards you. Maybe you use a door and you go in another room and you sort of camp them out. You're like, don't give in to their advantage, right? Just learn your class weakness, learn to play against it. If you play a class right now and you don't know what your counter is, drop a comment. I'll be happy to help out. I want to help as many new players as I can enjoy this game because I really do love this game. It's nice having a lobby go from 15K to 50K. It's just nice. It feels good, man. Another big tip, learn where all the extracts are. This game updated recently. There used to be portals that sort of randomly spawned, so this wasn't as big of a deal. But now there's been a few times now where I've been running around with some good gear, and all the statics that I knew of, statics being where the portal is and is never gonna move, were all taken. So just have an escape route planned, I guess would be the tip. Plan your escape, make sure your static is secure, and you can guard it or, you know, just risk it. I risk it a lot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, learn your extracts. This one seems a little silly, but I do this a lot. Don't forget to sell all your valuables after a game. Maybe I'm the one with brain rot and that's just like no one else does this, but I will straight up just hop into the next game and I'll forget to load up on potions or arrows or bolts or whatever it is. Just take your time, just relax, just sell your stuff, put your gold away, take note of what you got, what you used. Don't go into a game without any heals, because then you're probably gonna die. This is a hard game. Last but not least, this is a good tip. If you made it this far, it's the best tip. Just have fun, man. Have fun. This game's hard. You're gonna die a lot, but I'm telling you, once you get that first kill, ooh, you kill your first sub-boss, you kill your first boss, you loot the treasure room. Like, this game's amazing, man. But it's easy to get caught up in just getting dogged on by everybody that's been playing since playtest 1. Just don't let it get the best of you. Practice in the low elo lobbies, you know, keep your gear score under 25. Might change with an update, so keep up with the Discord. Side tip, join the Discord. Lots of useful information there. Or join my Discord and I will link the updates. Link for my Discord in the description, where I also post stream schedules and YouTube videos. And you could also subscribe. You should subscribe. That's very helpful for me. I would really appreciate that. It's free. Just saying. Great deal. But yeah, just have fun with the game. There really is a good community behind it, but like a lot of really good people that support this game and want to see it succeed. Don't go in the general chat of the Dark and Darker Discord. It's a little toxic. Sometimes it's okay. It's a little toxic. We still love those people, but it's a little toxic. Just practice. Just keep practicing. I'm telling you, you are going to get better. Grind out that class, get to level 20, get your skills, get your perks, find friends to play with, learn the maps. It gets more fun the more you play. It's addicting. I'm not passionate about games, really. This one I'm very passionate about. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the gameplay loop. I like D&D a lot. Maybe that's it. I think most importantly, yeah, just have fun. Enjoy it. Feel free to leave a comment if you have questions about anything else, or if you want me to further elaborate on tips. If there's a class that you want to see me explain so you can get an idea of how to play better, let me know. I'll throw a video out. I'll do class guides. I really just want to see everyone have fun. I love Iron Mace. I love what they're doing. I think they're absolutely cooking, especially with this wipe. I think this wipe was one of the best ones they've put out in a hot minute. That's all I got for you. Go, get in the dungeon, get some gold, and subscribe. Subscribe to the video, bro. Please. All right, peace.